Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here, I'm with Elise, and today we are using a Happy Planner monthly layout to create a custom spread for my Patreon member, Courtney. So this is from December 2024. So I'm just going to use my white Uniball Signo pen to do a nice clean cover up here. This is a brand new pen, so it should work really nicely. But what I just have to be good about and remember is to get it cleaned off afterwards. So we're just gonna kind of do that because we want to date it for October, of course. So Courtney requested a Halloween theme, so I pulled out Posh Halloween. The sticker book is unfortunately sold out, but I haven't had a chance to use it since it released, aside from my release video. So I thought that these colors, the black, the green, the pink, would be really pretty to use here, and I wanted to. So I also want to clean off or cover up Note to Self. It's just a cleaner cover up to do this than the correction tape. There are going to be some spots that I use the correction tape, and I'll show you shortly why sometimes I do this. So when I use, here's the difference between when I use a pen or I use the correction tape. I'll use the pen when I'm putting a clear sticker over it because it's going to be a little bit cleaner than the correction tape. But I'll use the correction tape when I'm putting like a box sticker over or something that has a paper backing, because I'm really just trying to cover up the words because I don't want to see them through. So where is my correction tape? We'll cover this here because I'm going to end up putting a header box there and I don't want to see that. So now let's see what else I have here. I want to do something like over here. So I feel like Bad Witch Vibes is kind of fun. I don't want to cover up too much of this top section. So I think that we'll use my white pen again. I guess we're just covering everything today. Some days are days where we cover more than others. There's a bird chirping outside my window and it's making me crazy. It may not be a bird. I feel like it could be a cricket. I don't know. It's something chirping and bugging me. So I'm going to give that a second. And in the meantime, while that's drying, let's pull out Alpha Basics Volume 3 by Calavaplan because I want to date this for October. And this is a pretty pink to use here. But I also pulled out some washi because I thought that that would be a cute touch. And this is a thin washi. This is really old. I think this is a Happy Planner washi. Let's see if I need to trim it. I think I do. You can tell from like the cardboard inside that it's really old, but it's nice and thin, and that's what I wanted here. Put this right there, and I'm just going to put it all the way across. And then let's use these letters for October. Hopefully I have enough space. I think I should if I go all the way to the edge. O, C, T. Actually, I may have extra room. O, maybe a tiny bit. B. Come on. E. Oh, we're pretty good on space. R. Okay, that looks cute. Now that that is in, we can come back to this sticker. And we're just going to pop this like right over here. I've covered up the punch a little bit, but we're going to fix that shortly. And then let's just add in something else. I feel like I need to keep this weighted down. Okay. Like, I like this pink. I'm a little nervous about how angled this is, so we may cut it because I feel like if it's angled, actually, this is pretty good. Let's just put this right here. And then a tiny bit of white pen just to cover up that spot. That looks pretty. Okay, now let's come back to my Alpha Basics and we'll come back to the pink. I don't know where those were, down here. And let's do this. This month. And my idea for this spot is for Courtney to be able to write down what she's got coming up this month, because I think that it's really important before you set goals. And I've talked about this in so many goal setting videos, but to really map out what your month looks like and see what you have the capacity for before filling up a planner with all the things that you want to get done. Because some months are going to be busier than others when we consider family schedule, when we consider work schedule, travel plans, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, that looks cute. Now we're going to take a black box header sticker and put this right here. And then let's use, I like using Alpha Basics to really just add a little touch of fun and decor. Like, it's a pop of color. It's not really decor, but it just looks prettier than writing. We're going to do to-do, D-O. All right. And then over here, let's add one more word while I'm on this side. And we're going to do focus, because this is where Courtney can add her focus for the month, or focuses. U and S. Okay, this color scheme is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna put Alpha Basics to the side for now, because the next thing that I want on this side is checklist or bullet point boxes. Of course, every time I reorganize my stickers, I can't find any of my bullet point boxes, and I have or sticker books that have bullet points. Something just fell, and I have so many of them. I'm looking for, here it is, the Calva Plan Dots and Checklists Volume 2. There's two reasons that this is the sticker book I'm looking for. Number one, these bullet points are smaller than traditional bullet points, and I feel like they just have a better fit here, but also because there's a big color variety here. So what I'm going to try to do is do my best, there we go, to match the green. One of the things that, whoops, oh my goodness, everything's falling. Sorry. One of the things that took a little bit more prep for this video was because these pinks and greens are really unique colors. And so I was going through sticker books to try to find the colors that were going to match the best. This was, of course, the one that I forgot to grab ahead of time. But sometimes it's tougher to do a color match. The Posh Halloween sticker book does have some boxes in it, probably some bullets too, but I wasn't sure if it would have enough. So now let's go to the pink. And I'm specifically using the green and the pink because black is harder to check off. You could use a white pen, but it's just not as easy. So with the pink, this one may be tougher. I think this is a better pink. It matches the focus, like the words more, so that's what we'll use here. And just cover these up. And this is where Courtney can list out her to-dos for the month. Every time I do a spread with this layout, I miss using this layout. We'll see if it's something that I bring back in 2026. I'm definitely in brainstorm mode for my 2026 lineup. All right, we're finished with this. I'll link this in the description for you. I believe it's still available. Now let's shift over to this side. Oh, actually, before I do that, I wanted to come back in with the washi right over here, but I feel like we should cover up the line because you'll see it through the washi. So this is an example where I think the correction tape is probably just as thick as this, but I'm not confident in drawing a long line with correction tape or placing a long line. So the pen is a better choice. Now, I also pulled out Jewel Tone functional boxes by Mojo Jojo Plans because, again, I was trying to find the good color matches. This green is a pretty good match here. It's still not a perfect match, but it's a good one. And that's what we're looking for here, because finding a perfect match for every color is not going to work. So we're going to put this one here, this one here, and then let's see if this has the pink. It should. I wanted to kind of conserve my pinks because now that I look at this actual pink, it's more of a mauve, but I think it's okay that we have some touches of true pink in here. All right, that looks really pretty. Let's maybe add one thing here, like a broomstick, just to kind of add to that. Actually, instead of a broomstick, let's do this pumpkin jack-o'-lantern with a hat. I think that that's cute right here. Let me just trim the bottom so it's got a nice flat bottom, just like that. Okay, now back to the washi. It's like I knew I'm missing something. The washi. That's pretty. Okay, now before I forget, I want to grab my We Are Memory Keepers punch, and we are going to punch this so that Courtney can pop it right into her planner. All right, I think this side is done. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a new quote. I think it's a good quote, so I don't really feel like I need to do a new one. I was trying to see if one of these would fit. I don't think it will, but I think it's a good quote. I don't really feel the need to change it. All right, I decided that I wanted to cover up this side too. I took a little bit of a break between the two clips, and then of course in the meantime the sun came right into my office windows, so I had to close my blinds, but I know that that's now making like a little bit of a weird shadow, so hopefully we can work that out. Okay, let's let that settle for a second, and in the meantime, it's all about like multitasking here. Let's trim this. And we're going to take this washi and put it right down here at the bottom to add just a little nice touch here. I like to trim this when it's a stripe each time so that the black is on both ends, because I feel like when it's on the white end, it looks like the washi isn't going all the way to the edge. So it's like a little extra detail, but I feel like sometimes those little extra details make a big difference. There's certain things that I'm very non-detailed about and others that I'm more detailed about. This is one of them. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now that we are dry up here, let's come back in with this floral. Put it over here, right on the corner. And then let's also do something, let's see what I've got as my choices. We did that little pumpkin set down there. Let's do one over here. When I can bend a page to lift I feel like it's so much easier than using the tweezer, but I know that the tweezer is really the best way. Okay, also I went a little bit crooked here, so let's trim that. And this is the other side of the monthly layout, of course. All right, that looks good. And then we're going to use our letters again. I want to put goals, but I'm a little afraid that it's not going to be a fill enough of the space. So the way that we're going to do this is actually go backwards, because then I can add in on the left corner. So do I do a stripe again like I did for October? Maybe. Let's see how it goes and then I'll decide. A O and G. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to take up much room. I'm unsure about the stripe. I want to come back in with some more decorative stickers here, but I think we're just going to take this floral and put it here. So we've got kind of the flowers on each side of the goals. And then maybe we will use the washi just to really make that part pop so it doesn't get lost. So back to my memory keeper's punch. And then let's add this. For this part, I'm not really worried about cutting it so the black is there. Just kind of want to add this right here. Okay. It's small, but I feel like it packs a big punch. Now, let's go over to the back of this sticker book. And this is where we're going to pull out some of the boxes. So I definitely want to incorporate this like mauve-y color here, but I also want to bring in that green. So I'm going to come back to, I think Jewel Tone Series 4 should be squares. Yes, it is. At this point, I've kind of figured out the colors here, and then we want one of these. Let's add this here. And then let's go back to black boxes and just kind of doing a combination of the black, the pink or mauve, and the green. So we can put this here. We can also then take, let's see, let's do this mauve one. Maybe here. And do I have room for a full black one there? I'm not sure. We'll see. It's going to be tight. I don't. So we're actually going to cut this and just make it a different size box than exists, because I didn't really want to do another square. So we'll put this one here. And then what I'm going to do, my favorite trick, is trim this. And we're going to just pop it right down here on the bottom to create a new size box. And then over here, let's get one more green. I think series 3 would be a good fit. Nope, it's a little tall. I need series 2. I thought it might be a problem. Series 2. I like the box sets because I can find any size that I need usually, or I just trim it like I did there. But series 2 is good here. And this is where Courtney can list out her goals for the month. All right, let's shift these to the side because I shouldn't need these anymore. And we don't need them taking up space. I also don't need this anymore, but I do want to come back here. So, I really liked that rose, so I want to include another one. Let's do a black one. And we're going to put this right over here. And then we're going to take words or letters again and let's do reflections. I usually like to do reflections here as the word because I feel like it's a good way to look back on the month and kind of prep for the following month. So I'm in a sweatshirt because it's chilly today, but I feel like my sleeves keep rolling down. I'm not used to sweatshirt mode. C T I O. Got to be another O. Yes, down here. O N S. I spaced that out pretty well, actually. I kind of eyeballed it. I feel like I've done enough of these that I'm starting to eyeball without having to perfectly center things. All right, let's move that over and kind of take a look. I feel like this is a really fun decorative spread. I could add like something a little bit down here, but I'm also afraid that that's going to be too much. I don't want to add washi because we've got the washi right here. Let's just take this little sliver and put it here. And then maybe now one more little thing, like a witch hat right there, just to kind of finish the bottom, but I still want to make sure Courtney has enough room to write. So I think that is the spread. I really like how this came out. I'm proud of myself for being able to color match as best as I could, but I hope that she enjoys it. Like I said, Posh Halloween is sold out, but I believe mostly everything else I used is still in stock. So I'll link everything with any discount codes if applicable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna make one more quick change. I just noticed in a little area that I want to add to and change, actually 2 changes. So we're not quite finished. I know I did my whole end video, end spiel, but we're not done yet. I'd like to add this washi right here. And what I'm gonna do is take my knife, this is a Fisker's knife, and just round that. And then this short little goals thing is bugging me. So we're gonna lift this up. Most washi you can lift up without ripping anything, especially a really old washi like this. So what we're gonna do here is actually just put this all the way across. I think that would look better. Sometimes once I stand up and really look at things, I get kind of a better idea of what I'm doing and what looks good and what changes need to be made. Yeah, I think that that's much better. Okay, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.